Good morning, friends. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today I am actually at Atelier de Doce here to try their top 10 most popular pastries. If you're not familiar with Atelier de Doce, it is a large bakery here in Alfeizerao. And it's actually funny, if you go to a lot of cafes in and around the Silver Coast area, they actually resell Atelier de Doce's pastries. Like, it's very common to see their cheesecakes in a lot of smaller cafes, as well as their bolle de Berlin and many other pastries that you'll see actually in this video. So today I wanted to try the top 10 favorite pastries of all time. So here we go. Starting off, we are going to try, and I'm going to try to remember to say this all correctly. We are going to try the Salatinho and the Tachinho dom Abad. And right now I am fighting the bees for my food. So hopefully I'll eat it before the bees do. Anyways, let's start off. This one here is the Salatinho. He was telling me it has kind of like a salty crust to it, and there is a bean interior. So we'll give it a go. So the inside, you can see it's like a soft bean interior. It is on the sweeter side. So if you're not a big fan of things that are overly sweet, this might be a bit sweet and something to share. And then it does have, which I thought was salt, but I think it's like a crystallized sugar on the top of it. So this is really tasty. This bean here is very, very popular here in Portugal. I'm not too sure about the information on it, but it is a very nice treat. And this one here was 90 cents as well. And to give you guys a disclaimer, I don't like things that are overly sweet. Even though I am American and we are known for very sweet desserts, I actually prefer more of like Asian style desserts, which tend to be less sweet. So if I say something is super sweet, just note that it may not be too sweet for you. So the next thing that we are going to try today is the Tachinho dom Abad. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names. So we'll give a close-up of this here. All right, so this one here is the Tachinho dom Abad, and this was 75 cents. So just give you an idea, it's actually pretty dense pastries, so one or two might be perfect for you. Good morning, guys. It is actually the next day. As I was editing the videos, I realized that one of the desserts that I tried didn't get recorded for some reason. I don't know, maybe I was doing too many things and I forgot to hit the record button, but I wanted to give you an update on the dessert. Luckily, I didn't finish it and I actually brought it home, so I can give you another go on what it tastes like. So it's this dessert over here. Hopefully it'll focus. And this one actually isn't as dense as the first one. So if you're looking for something similar but a little bit lighter, this one is actually a good option. And this one actually has nuts. So if you do have a nut allergy, just be careful because these do have, I don't know what kind of nut it is. I want to say that it's probably almond. It does taste a little bit like almonds, or maybe no, I don't think it's walnuts, but I want to say it's almonds. Correct me if I'm wrong, any Portuguese people watching this right now. So let's give it a go. It's still moist. As I had mentioned with the first one I tried, it was very sweet. There was a sugar coating on top. This one here is less sweet than the first one. And I actually like the nuts that are incorporated in this. It gives a little more texture. What's also nice is that because the actual filling isn't so dense, it's a really light option if you're going for something just to eat with your cup of tea or coffee in the morning. I actually prefer this one than the other one. And it does still have the same crust as the other one. And I will say I actually had this in my refrigerator because I had a lot that I brought home. And I want to say the second day, I don't know if it's because I'm drinking tea this morning, but this is actually really good. So I will probably finish this whole thing with my cup of tea, and yeah, on to the next one. The next two items. This one here to the right is the tarte de missa, and this one here is the pito de gila. And just to give you another idea, it's bigger than the others. Let me show you this one comparatively. So it's twice, if not 3 times the size. This was $1.20 or €1.20, and this one here is 90 cents. And we'll see. I think this one's pumpkin on the inside, but we'll double check. And also, if I'm talking not like myself, it's because there are other people around and I don't want to be very loud. So hopefully the volume is loud enough for you guys to hear. This tartlet de maçã, I was expecting the exterior to be similar as the other one, kind of like a pie dough pastry, but it is softer. So you definitely need a fork to eat it. So you can see that it's definitely more of a cakey exterior. Kind of reminds me of, I think, like Madeline's, where it's like soft on the inside, but then also a little bit on the harder on the outside. But yes, the exterior reminds me so much of a Madeline. And then these are apples here. I'm trying to get a piece with the apple. That one's definitely more up my alley. It's far less sweet than the other two, and it tastes just like a Madeline. So if you really enjoy Madeleines, this is perfect for you. The apples itself doesn't have a lot of flavor to it. You can taste that it's apples, but it's not like, I'm trying to think, like, it's not like an apple pie where you'll really taste like apples with a lot of sugar and stuff. It's just a very natural flavor of the apples. And there's still a slight crunch to it, which I really, really like. Oh my gosh, the more of the apple I have, the more I'm like, this is like so perfect. And you start to kind of taste the flavors of an apple pie, but without the sugar that we usually put in the States. And of course, now I have to wash it down with some coffee. On to the next one. All right, before we get started, let's cut this thing in half to see what's on the inside. This, I'm literally cutting with one hand, so don't mind my cutting skills. Ooh, okay. So it definitely has similar texture as the second pastry that I showed. Let me see what it tastes like. First off, the exterior is exactly like a typical pie dough, pie crust. It's a little bit firmer. You can see that it's nicely toasted. It kind of reminds me of like a smaller apple pie. I want to reference everything to an apple pie, but just note that it's not like an apple pie. Anyway, so pumpkin's on the inside, and I chose pumpkin because it's the fall, but there is apple as an option, and I don't know if there was another one, but cheers. Okay, this one's my favorite so far. That was a really big bite. So think of it as an apple pie and a pumpkin pie made a baby. And then the pie was enclosed, so there was a top and a bottom. So like an apple pie. Okay, follow me. But it's perfect. If you like, because I don't know about you, when you eat a pie, I'm not a big filling person in general when it comes to pie. I usually like the end of the apple pie because I like the crust and I like a little bit of the filling just because, again, I don't like things too sweet. This here is like the perfect thing for me because I like the texture of the crust. I like a little bit of the filling and not for things to be overly sweet. All right, so here are the next two. This one here is the Segredo São Bernardo, and this was €2.10. And this one here is the Torrão de Amendoa. So it has almonds. Okay, I can talk a little bit more freely because the other family that was here is inside now. So these two I'm excited about. I've already tried the Torrão de Amendoa, and I know it's spectacular. Now I'm interested to see about the other one. Okay, so I already can tell it's similar to the custards of the first one, I think, where you have the almost like a gelatin custard on top of a thicker crust. Hopefully you guys can see. So I can tell that this is going to be sweet. So we'll see how sweet it is. Okay. So again, I gave you a disclaimer. that I don't like things to be super, super sweet. One bite of that, and it's way too sweet for me. It's definitely a good dessert if you really enjoy sweet things. So you have the custard top that Portugal is known for. You actually find this bean custard that he was mentioning in a lot of desserts here. And then you have a graham cracker like crust on the very bottom. And then the inside, in the middle, is a very sweet, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a sugary sweetness to that top layer of the graham crust. So I can already tell one bite, and I'm that person like, okay, I'm good after one bite. But if you really enjoy something super sweet, this is a really nice dessert to try here. Now I'm going to try the Torrão de Amendoa, which I can tell it's not going to be as sweet. It kind of reminds me of those almond candies back at home. Is it almond chews? Oh, you guys help me. I don't remember the name of it, but it reminds me of that. So and I can already tell it's a harder piece of dessert, obviously, because there's nuts involved. So I just cut a little chunk here. So it's a very similar crust as the one I just tried. And then there is that peanut almond caramel topping almost. So we'll give it a go. If you're someone that likes a good graham cracker crust, the majority of that dessert is a graham cracker crust. And then you have a small layer of the almond with it's got to be like some sort of caramel sugar mixture on top. So it's kind of nice because it's not as sweet as the previous one I just tried. And this is like perfect for like an afternoon tea because it's not as sweet as the other one. Again, I don't like too sweet of things. So this here would probably be my limit of how sweet I like things. But I do like the crunch of the almonds. I do like graham cracker crust in general. So this is really nice for myself to eat. And I do like how it's not as big of a piece of dessert to eat. So I do really enjoy that one. I still prefer, which one did I prefer? The pito de gila, I think. That's my favorite so far. Okay, so this is what I'm working with here, guys. See my my bees and flies on my food. So yeah. So the next is the bola berlin, and I got the strawberry version because I really enjoy it. This is very common in the States, but here in Portugal, it is super, super popular. If we just open it up, there is a strawberry filling inside. It reminds me of the, the strawberry filled donuts back in the States. My kids love it with Nutella, and there's an apple pie one. There's so many different flavors to this. So this is something that you'll find actually at the beach and everything because they sell it there. So fun fact, I'm actually allergic to bees, and here I am like surrounded by them. This is what I do for you guys because I love you guys. Plus I love eating. So it kind of all works out. Anyway, so as you can see, it's stuffed with strawberry filling. It's very similar. I mean, it's a very light filling, so it's not too bad. And it's not as sweet as the other ones I've tried. I've already tried this, so I know it's delicious, but I will give it a go anyway. Oh! I just dropped everything. You can't take me anywhere. It's delicious. And it's not that sweet. It's definitely something I would eat the whole thing, especially the strawberry one. I find that the chocolate ones tend to be really too sweet for me. But this one is actually perfect because the sugary exterior just gives it a slight sweetness, but the actual donut itself doesn't have a lot of sugar to it. So if you're looking for something that's not overly sweet and you enjoy donuts, I would highly recommend it. Plus the donut itself is super fluffy and it's 65 cents. You can't go wrong with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you go to the beach, especially in the Algarves, we were there last summer and we would always see people, vendors selling it, walking around the beach asking if you wanted bola berlin. So I would highly recommend coming here because literally it's one of the best things to buy here. And the last thing that I am going to try is actually their lime cheesecake. It's very similar to a key lime pie back in the States. Well, no, I take it back because a key lime pie is more moussey. This one is like kind of like a key lime cheesecake. And there is an Oreo topping to it because the crust is Oreo. I did not see that, so we'll see how this is. All right, so let's just dive right into it. It has been sitting out for a little bit because I've been trying everything else, so it's definitely more moussey than the others. And I don't know if it's just because it's sitting out, but so maybe it is kind of like a key lime pie that it's definitely a little more on the moussier side than a, you know, a denser cheesecake. Oh my gosh, so funny. I'm like filming, obviously outside, and the owners here have been super nice. In fact, they have a truck sitting out front that was supposed to leave, and he's just been sitting there waiting for me to finish filming for you guys because it's going to be really loud. So it was really nice that they are holding up production essentially for this video for you guys. Anyway, so let's try this Oreo cheesecake, or not Oreo, this key lime or lime mousse cheesecake. I don't know if I would consider this cheesecake. It's more like a mousse. Okay, I take everything back. This is by far my favorite. It is, oh my gosh. First off, I don't like whipped cream. I don't like, I don't know, I'm not a big whipped cream person, okay? All that stuff. I like cheesecake because I do like the creaminess of the cheesecake. This is an exception to whipped cream. Oh my gosh. Okay. If anything, get this. This, I would, as you can tell, the ones I didn't like, I only took one bite of. The ones I enjoyed, I took 2 bites. This one is my 3rd bite, and I probably would finish this whole thing if I wasn't so full. Oh. Okay, how much was this? This was €1.50. This is, I'm not even joking, the best thing here, hands down. From everything I've tried, you have the little bit of lime shavings on the top. That gives it a little bit of a bite to it too, a little bit of a texture. This Oreo crust, I don't taste too much of an Oreo to it, but this is delicious. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to stop. Because I'm also on a diet too, so I need to pace myself. I need to save this for my husband so he can try later on too. So to give you an idea of the cost of everything that I just showed you, it was a little bit over €9. So it's a really affordable treat if you want to come here and taste all of their most common and popular pastries. I would highly recommend it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one.